everybody, and welcome to Music Real Talk with Marbin. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe. Alrighty. Episode 26.
Nice.
Could you believe we've made it this far?
26.2.
26, why 0.2?
26.2, it's a marathon, and also the Coltrane song, because it's a marathon.
Yeah. Oh, really? I had no idea where that came from.
So you saw all the stickers that said 26.2, and you're like Coltrane.
Yeah.
That's a jazz fan that like that song specifically. People really like that confirmation with Coltrane changes.
Yeah.
That's what you thought.
Yeah, I don't know what I thought about that. Anyways.
And some people have 13.1.
Yeah, so
it's a half a marathon.
That's fucking crazy. Updates about Marbin being totally canceled on Instagram.
I didn't look at it yet. I know.
I looked at it. It's deleted.
What do you mean?
They deleted our account.
Oh, so when you log in, what does it say?
There's no more like you violated the terms. The account has been deleted. Yeah, we are we are canceled. Is it because we said gypsy?
Yes, that's what I think.
John actually, because there are groups in Facebook called Gypsy Jazz.
Yeah, if it's hyphenated, it's different.
John actually called me, John, our bassist, and he was like trying to feel me out, kind of. And he's like, "Yeah, I listened to your last podcast, and like we should really like the Gypsy Jazz album. We shouldn't say gypsy, like we shouldn't call it anything with gypsy. What do you think about that? Like, is it really worth the thing?" And it's like, now I double want to do it.
What do you mean? Of course you would have done.
That's what the style is called.
You just have to hyphenate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is the hyphenate? Can you hyphenate other ethnic slurs and make it okay?
Maybe some.
Like if I said kike jazz with a hyphen, would Jews not be offended?
I don't think kike will get you kicked out.
Really?
Yes.
Is kike not a bad one?
I don't think it is.
Well,
you're the only person I've ever saw that said it.
Really?
Anywhere online.
I feel like people call it.
I don't think so.
No, nobody uses that word?
I don't think so.
All right. Anyways.
Try other words.
Just go one by one down the list. See how long before
what happens.
Zuckerberg pullls the plug.
Yeah.
From this feed. Does AI filter it out? Are they pulling down live feeds in the moment? How sophisticated are these robots? Are they like
pretty sophisticated?
Really?
Yeah.
They're
well, it's not. I don't know if it's sophistication.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not sophistication because they just go by. The way it goes, I think we have keywords that basically flag it and then further investigation.
It's just the
but immediately, I think if they see or hear a keyword, they immediately will limit the reach.
The heart-wrenching thing about being canceled is just the scene it creates of like, I can imagine me like from the outside what I must look like sitting on a couch with my Instagram app, just trying to punch in the password again and again, thinking I didn't capitalize the first letter of my password. Like, no.
I tell you, the problem is how much people don't, like, how nobody cares. And the amazing thing about those companies is that you cannot talk to anybody.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that really blows my mind about cancel culture in general, from like running a Facebook page. It's like, how do they find the people to complain to?
Well, complaining is easy.
So can we complain about...
Yes.
Can we complain, find those... I couldn't even find the number or the email to...
It's not an email. You see a post and then you report the post.
Can I just report on like Snarky Puppy's post? It's like, I can't believe that Marbin's Instagram page is down. And
it's not how reporting goes. So if you press report, it's... You never reported anything on Facebook?
No.
Okay, so if you press...
Did you?
Yeah.
Why?
Like if I see something that's scammy on my feed, like an ad or something, when I press, somebody that's a false profile, I just report it to get it deleted. That's it.
Oh, I never done that.
Yeah, but...
I just hide it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good like that.
But I'm saying if you report it, if you press report, it gives you options to what it is.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't... I don't remember what it was, but some stuff that's very prevalent, I don't remember because I barely do it, but some stuff that's very prevalent, you don't even have an option to report it as what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just have a few options, and then they look at it. And I think they only look at it, I'm guessing, if they get a specific amount of either percentage compared to views or percentage compared to likes, or maybe there's a finite number, like 5, I don't know.
I honestly don't miss Instagram, though. That was really not a place. I could never understand, like, my wife loves Instagram, and I could never understand the joy of just looking at pictures.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, just like, oh my God, she's so hot. Oh my God, my friend had a picnic.
Oh, she's hot. Oh my God, this bitch thinks she's hot.
Dude, there's
a Bill Burr thing with the lizard eyes.
I gotta say, I did fall victim to clickbait on YouTube. I couldn't resist. There's a new lady. Her name is, I think, Mimi. She's British, and she has massive tits and a huge cleavage, and under there's a guitar too, and she can't really play the guitar, but every like video has these just huge, gigantic
Well, that
tits.
lady that did the exact same thing.
I know, but it's somehow that...
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one that does the covers?
She was much hotter, but it's amazing that, like, that strategy does not get old. Like, as much as, like, AI advances,
well,
like that fucking robot is
part
just
of
sitting there jerking out.
That's part of of what I was saying about the... I don't know if I said it when we talked about porn last time, but part of what I think the problem is, I think that you get devalued very quickly right now.
Yeah.
Because there are so many new people. So I would guess that somebody comes into the scene, and like somebody that's really hot or whatever, and then basically there is a pressure to put it in overhauls in different shapes and sizes and colors.
Yeah.
And once you're done that, you're basically devalued because it's just it's the same thing afterwards.
Yeah.
Right? But you have like a peak value and then a massive drop. But I would guess that's happening. So, like, I would think that it happens with all those people too. Like that lady that we were talking about, which I don't remember her name, the one who plays the covers.
But at least she sings. You know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying it doesn't matter. I'm saying how many covers by her can you see? Like 1,000?
I mean,
10,000?
I would watch it on mute. You know, it's
but you wouldn't. It's not true. You wouldn't. After a while,
it's an
like,
excuse. It's an excuse to watch a stripper. You know, it's like you're like, they mix it with like a talent show. But sometimes the playing is so ridiculous. Like I just saw a video of like Mimi playing Albert King style. But Albert King is nothing to write home about. But like to see somebody butcher something so simple, but you know, I don't know.
I would get it. Like if I did. Like, I would like seeing somebody in porn trying to shred.
I would love that.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
I feel like I have to see after this podcast if that's a category.
Yeah, what would you even search? What's the problem? The problem is that also our terminology.
Shredding.
Our terminology is...
Yeah, the porn world and the shred world are just...
we need new words.
Yeah. Yeah, like
so
if you're looking for somebody,
combine them.
If you're looking for somebody crushing it, you find a very different thing on Pornhub, you know?
I know, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Because we go and imitate them. We borrow from their world a lot of the time. It's the sexual innuendos. I still remember, do you remember, what's the name of that band, the joke band? Like metal. They had like that song.
I know what it's about. Sticks It In You.
Sticks It In You was the drummer, and Satchel was the guitarist. Steel Panther. So Steel Panther had a pedal they did with TC Helicon or TC Electronics, I can't remember. And or they didn't do a pedal, but like it was like one of those digital processors. Yeah. And they let Satchel program his clean sound, which was like a super wet chorus 80s thing. And they called it the Pussy Melter, which is a great name for a patch.
Yeah.
And this was a few years ago, like 3 years ago. And this, the story is, I don't even know what the real story is, but some 15-year-old girl got this processor.
And a pussy Sorry about it.
No, I think her pussy's still okay, but her parents are pussies. And, they complained and they recalled this pedal and erased this fucking patch.
Oh my God.
But it's like then you start thinking about like the amount of guitar pedals that are named after like pussy stuff, like Big Muff. It's like the most popular fuzz and Swollen Pickle. It's like you literally would have to, if you were trying to like cancel guitar shit, it's like that connection of like, I don't know, like rock and roll and sex is like so absolute.
It's what made it.
Yeah. It's like that's why you wanted to get in it. Still, I mean, that whole idea of like sex, drugs, and rock and roll being replaced by like
Pajamin.
It's just, I just don't understand.
Incels.
I don't understand the allure.
Incels at home, incels pajamas.
That nothing makes me
And rock and
feel
roll.
nothing makes me feel so old as like partying and like that whole sexual appeal of the music being replaced by wanting to be a YouTuber. That's like I just like you see the famous people now. It's like Jacob Collier is like in his mom's house. Like it's like, dude, like leave the fucking house. You're too old to live with your mommy. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, Jesus, you gotta go on a journey, and the journey can't be online. Which brings me to the thing I actually wanted to talk about.
Wait, before that.
Okay.
Wait, no, I forgot.
Okay, the thing I wanted to talk about. It's a thing that I was talking to you and to my dad about earlier. And it's really the battle between...
Oh, wait, I remembered.
Go.
It's just because it's very short and kind of related.
Okay.
So before we go somewhere else, we were watching this TV show now. Like if you watch movies and TV shows that are going on now, when you see, let's say we go to a coffee shop or something, nobody's on their phones ever.
And in the TV show, they're like talking to each other?
Well, the extras too, right? They pretend to do things, talking, but nobody's on their phones. And
So
I was thinking, it's
unrelatable.
like, how anxious are all those extras to go back on their phones? Probably the second they say cut, it's like,
Just checking the amount of like likes they got on Instagram for
but
being an extra in the show. They're
it's
pretending
just-
to not be on their phone.
It's so hard to film somebody on their phone and having it to be attractive. Attractive, not like you want to fuck it. Attractive, like you want to look at it. That's why when you see commercials for phones, it's so strange because they're trying to make the phone experience fun.
Oh yeah, like
It's like, hey, we're all taking a selfie together. It's like, what? We should skydive or something. It's like,
one of
it's
my
impossible.
favorite things, like when I take a walk with my wife, and like we walk by like the lake shore in Chicago or something, and you see like the girl who's taking like a selfie by the water, and is like attempting to make like the happy face, but makes the very anxious, unhappy face at people trying to see the happy face. So it's like this.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's super embarrassing, but like jumping between those worlds, right? Of like that thing, like happy, unhappy, happy, unhappy. It's so thrilling to watch. I love other people. I love just catching 1 second of their
But you
life.
know, when
and
we went,
letting that fucking
when we
drive away.
failed on climbing the Teton. Teton, you remember when we went up the Teton mountain? Obviously didn't get to the top.
Teton Mountain? That was in Salt Lake or something?
No,
Or was-
Teton is in between Idaho and Wyoming. Victor, Idaho is by the Tetons.
What did we try to do?
We went on a hike up the mountain, but we didn't come close to being done.
Okay.
We gave up. But when we do stuff like that, I never take my phone on purpose, but you could see, especially with Ben and Blake.
Oh, I remember that.
But it's not even just them, right? Because my mind goes there too, but they just act it out. That you hike, but what your brain is looking for is good pictures.
Yeah.
It's basically the
Reporting. It's constant reporting.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's what. Like you see a rock, and you're like, I want to climb. Let's take a picture. It'll be an awesome picture,
Right.
right? Because
I mean, I get it. That's a part of it all connects to some form of like just being very, very childish. I mean, I still remember when I was at Berkeley. That was really the end of Precious Boy energy for me, in the sense that whenever I'd hear a good thought or a good song or a good anything, my only instinct was to show it to my mom and dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything of value that I came across, I had the impulse to share it with my family, with my parents, really.
Which kids do it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Your nephews and nieces, like one of the things they like to do the most is to show you things.
Right, exactly. It's exactly that. That like if you happen to perceive something awesome, the only way you can cash it in for value is not to enjoy it yourself, or maybe, in our case, have an audience that kind of, you transmit it to. You just show it to the people you love.
Our audience are very not childish.
No.
They hate showing Marbin.
Well,
especially live shows.
Yeah. The fusion crowd. It's but we
It's
love
a lonely
them.
and it's a lonely.
It's a lonely life. It's a lonely path
Yeah,
to love all these notes.
The fusion.
Yeah, some people just love some notes a lot, but if you love all the notes all the time, it's a real problem. It's a lonely path. It's a warrior's path. But yeah. Anyway, this brings us to what I wanted to open up, which is the idea, and I heard Brad Weinstein talk about it, and he was talking about how we grew up in an era where phones were kind of, it's so cliche to talk about this stuff, but the point is good. In an era before the internet exploded, before, we know what it's like to live without phones, and it came kind of when we were teenagers.
Not even. When did you get I got my first
15,
cell phone
I
when I
think.
was 18, and it had an antenna.
Well,
You have to open the little
that's
antenna.
just because your parents treated you like Oliver Twist. The technology.
When did you have a smartphone?
No, smartphone not till college.
Yeah, because we didn't have them.
No, yeah, but we had phones. But yeah, so you're right. Smartphones and really the internet taking over didn't happen till later. So the idea is that by nature, there's something very postmodern about the online reality. I mean, in the sense that there is no real objective truth. You can find explanations for any version of whatever, history, aesthetics. It all exists at the same time.
Also, it's not,
And you can present yourself in any way you'd like. You can
like
change.
we talked with Dominam, but when people argue, everybody's voice is the same.
Right.
Actually, the person that has more time to puke on the internet
Gets more accolades, right?
Yeah, and it's very strange.
Yeah, and it's postmodern by nature in that sense, in the sense that you can choose your gender, your pronoun, your picture, how you present yourself is completely in your hands. Everything, none of the natural laws of biology or physics are imposed on that plane. And for people like us, that and from our generation and previous generations, that's kind of a tricky. We still, I think most of us still see the real world reality as the thing. And if somebody says something mean to you on the internet, it's like, well, okay.
Well, we also grew up with stuff like MILC.
Mirrors, yeah.
Mirrors, people know what it is here.
I'm not sure.
But it wasn't in Israel.
It's like a chat room, basically.
It was a
you
chat
can share some
room
files.
where you can share, and 10% of it was pedophiles pretending to be to be 10.
Yeah.
And would send you messages that are very strange.
Yeah.
Like, hey, friend.
Yeah. So, but I think for people
That
now,
was like the golden age for pedophiles. I feel. Like,
well, the idea though is that people these days grow up in this world, and in a lot of ways they prefer the makeup of the internet world, and they try to make reality more like the other world. So they're trying to impose a lot of the postmodern principles on the actual world, right? And that's where a lot of the
it's what happens a lot with outdoor things. All the mirrors and all that stuff, it was supposed to mimic reality, and then it develops on its own, and then you're like, oh,
And then the
Reality needs
people
to
that
catch up,
prefer
yeah.
it start mimicking their
Yes.
life after the codes that they pick up there. And something about that is, especially in a field like
Of Bali.
like music, is just so crazy, especially for me, because there is something you get to know from let's say being on the road for a decade,
Yeah.
about the way things are as opposed to the way you would like them to be, right? The way people take in music. I mean, I see that a lot with the place where it's most pronounced is with 20 to 30-year-old shredders who never really went on the road. There's a German shredder guy that really comes to mind, who's a really good player. I can never remember the name of these Jam Tracks Central people. I don't know why. They just the name escapes me. But anyways, he's a really good player. But I Googled some of his stuff, and his produced videos sound and look like what you would expect from a great pajammer, from like a pajamming hero. But when you go see a show,
Yeah, shows?
he has some shows. I didn't see him. I saw videos, but like a real video of a show, like one of those shitty videos, like the one angle thing with okay sound, where it's pretty honest about what it probably felt like to be there in a way. Obviously, videos never do it justice. But
with some instruments more than others.
Guthrie Govan has the same problem to me. Their playing is right there. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's so tiny. Like the energy they're making, it looks like it needs to fit in a webcam, but they're not like. There's no Steve Vai thing. There's no Malmsteen thing. They're not projecting their life energy beyond the fretboard.
Yeah.
And there's just there are things you learn about how to. It's not about being theatrical, like doing the Hendrix thing, even though Hendrix did do it regardless of the theatrics. It was very honest. It's just about being, extra comfortable, so used to giving to people, to that transaction of like human to human, that it creates this open channel where things are flowing. But I don't know if if that thing is going away from the world. Like, I don't know if you also need an audience that's willing to perceive it that way. Because, I mean, we've been noticing more and more that, like, if something starts to peak in the music, the one thing you see people do is take out the phone and turn on the video cameras to kind of...
To make a worst video ever.
to make a video with terrible angles, the worst sound imaginable, like an iPhone in front of, like, a blaring, like, half stack.
But Savo, but also these people are playing to a place that makes more sense to even tape with a phone.
What do you mean?
That our show, when people tape with a phone, the sound is terrible always, because where you stand in the room, it doesn't, like, to pinpoint this weird mic, it just doesn't catch the sound.
Yeah.
Right, and for them, I think they have much more. They think about their sound like it's coming out as a. There's no big sound of each person and the way it melts in the room and bounces off the walls and all that stuff. It's just, it's made to be recorded like that. That's what I'm saying. It's strange. We saw shows like that.
Mm-hmm. God. So I mean,
like there is almost no stage volume. Stuff like that. The stuff is really programmed.
I mean, right now I'm starting to get I have that IR box, and I've started to, like, play with some IRs and use headphones at home. And it really brings you to this place where it's you get used to using tiny sounds very loudly. You know what I mean? It's like you start making it's not artificial, but it's artificial sounding music. In the sense that if you're playing with in-ears, you could use like a 1-watt amp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And have the drummer have it in his in-ears and blast it through the room.
That's what they do, a lot of them.
Yeah, and that, I know. And like the machine, there is something about like how music that actually happens somewhere sounds when it's mixing in the air that is irreproducible. You cannot remake it. But I mean, I don't know.
But it's also harder to control. So you see people that play with electric drum sets, and there are a lot of reasons to do it. You don't lose your hearing.
Yeah. God, do you remember when we played with Vertical and they were trying to showcase that new Yamaha electric set?
Yeah, we didn't get a standing ovation, and Paul
freaked out.
Yeah,
Paul Vertical, if he doesn't get a standing ovation, he thinks that like
the world is over.
The world is over.
Everybody's fired.
Yeah, but this was Yamaha, I think. They sent like a rep to Roland.
Roland,
yeah. They sent a rep down to where was this? Peoria, Illinois. Like a big auditorium, like 3,000 people. 5,000 people. We were playing this show. It was like a showcase for jazz educators from all over the States.
Yeah.
And they sent him this electronic drum set, which was brand new in 2010 ish.
Like that, yeah.
And this guy set it up, and he started playing, and it just sounded like shit. It was so bad. And also, like, if you're going to have a great electronic drum set, you need great monitors. Like, you know what I mean? There's no sound coming from it. So it doesn't matter how good it is. If the place you're in doesn't have amazing speakers, then it's not going to work. And you need to mix them somehow and power them well. It
makes much more sense also with in-ears than to mix it in with like a flow monitor, which what we did.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all this technology stuff. It seems like easy and intuitive solutions. But
it gives you, if you're a control freak, then it's good for you. Like if you'll sit at home and program all your drums in advance and put everything on them, and you're gonna have your drum sound. Yeah, then it's fine.
Yeah. By the way, you know, YouTube changed like their policy for YouTubers that promote product, that they have to list in the description if there's paid promotion in it.
Yeah, obviously.
And it's pretty new.
That's what Facebook did that from day one.
Yeah, but so I guess on YouTube it's fairly recent. I saw, I think, like Pete Thorne or something like that. Like just I was just scrolling, seeing like a live feed, and he was just talking about how he's like people call him a shill, and for the companies, and he's not a shill. He's like he'll only play stuff that he can make sound good, and he was just going on and on about like how he's, and it just I never write anything, but it was just. He was making it so clear. Like, it's like these people never were in high school. Like, you do not advertise the place where it hurts. Because that's where everybody wants to press, you know?
Yeah.
But his demeanor live...
I don't know who he is, by the way.
He's like a sewer guy. He has the PT-100. His demeanor live is so like...
Post-trauma.
Yeah, he's so... overly positive in such a strange way, like you know, I don't think I've ever said I don't mean to come across as negative. I don't think that ever left my face. It's like I don't mean to come across as negative, but they never say it like that. They say I don't mean to like come across as negative. That's how that phrase usually comes out of a face. But yeah, he was just talking about like, you know, I'm not a shill for these companies. Like I just want it to be like shill.
Which companies?
Shill.
Which companies?
Well, you know, it's like the way the big gear companies do it now. That all the attention is YouTube. So they'll send you a new guitar, send you a new amp, send for free, and you just need to make whatever format video you make.
Yeah, they just sent me a new mouthpiece.
Who? Oh, Theowani. Yeah. How was it?
I don't know. I didn't get it yet, but I was like, they asked me, do you want it? I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I take free shit too.
But I was like, am I supposed to say anything about it? I didn't ask them. They didn't tell me.
You're a shill for the Theowani Corporation.
Yeah.
A saxophone.
Hey guys, I might like this mouthpiece. You should
we'll see
get
when
it.
It gets here.
I should get mouthpieces like the one I got.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
tell you, to me it's just annoying because we do get a bunch once in a while. Like it happened a bunch of times already. But saxophone players that would want a lesson, but they'll be like, oh, I can't afford $60, I can't afford $70, whatever. It's like, oh, I can take only one, and it's gonna be in 2 years when I finish saving. And then they're like, oh, I got your mouthpiece. And I was like, dude, this must be expensive. You know what I mean? It's like you're willing to spend to get the same mouthpiece that you're willing to spend, like what 10 lessons would cost you, or like 12, or like I don't know, 15 lessons. It's just so crazy to me.
Well, gear is just it's the perfect. It's the promised land. You know, it's the perfect pipe dream. You know what I mean? That you're just, you can imagine, you can start obsessing about, you know, oh my God, like Danny plays.
But it's not just lessons. It's like by our merch table. Like we think, oh, it's $30 for a shirt. It's like,
yeah, it's like, let me get another beer and think about it.
Oh no, I probably should get another mouthpiece.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, even lessons are overrated. The truth is,
everything is overrated.
Everything. Like if you're not in a pattern of helping yourself, then nothing's gonna ever happen.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the difference between spending on a shirt and on a mouthpiece, it's a humongous difference.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen people buy like Sur guitars that, I mean, in hope that it will change their playing. That's a deep investment to like throw $3,000.
It does though, you know. It in some ways it does. That's why you started playing it. That's why I switched to the Theomani mouthpieces because like, oh shit, it's so good. But
I made 6 albums before I could afford one.
Yeah, I know, but exactly. Like to me,
and that was with an artist discount.
You know, it made a big difference, the mouthpieces, but it's just. Yeah, it's just.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing to not think about this stuff as tools. Like if that part in your brain is disconnected, if this isn't a tool for a job, it's just you know, a way of reaching a new level. Then it's insane. I mean,
well, you do have a ton of guitars, but I was about to say that I barely have any mouthpieces. Yeah. It's not like I was switching. I had my mouthpieces, and then this guy Matt contacted me, and like, I think you would like our stuff better. Mm-hmm. And I tried it, and I was like, I like it much better. But it's not like I have 1,000. And a lot of those people that buy those mouthpieces, like we would see a lot of people that are not professional musicians, saxophone players, that have like 10 times the amount of mouthpieces that I have, which I guess it's not that many, but it's still a lot.
Well, with guitar specifically, I do think that, and it's probably true with reeds and mouthpieces, there's kind of conceptual things that people get wrong, that they're not in the right ballpark of the sound they're going for, and they think it's the units themselves. So it's like, to get my kind of tone, if you have any kind of amp, a metal zone, boss pedal, and a boss delay, like that, you can, like a rig that the whole thing with the guitar and the amp is under $1,000. You know, like a Squier, a Crate amp,
like the Pink Squier.
Yeah, maybe. Like just a piece of shit, like everything the worst. You could still get in the ballpark of what I do in terms of saturation and ambient effect, and learn how to play that way with very shitty gear. And you can, with time, get nicer cables, a nicer pedal, a nicer amp, a nicer guitar, and replace it if you understand the components of how people put together their you know, sound. Like, to get a Malmsteen sound, you need to have insane amounts of gain that will make everything go like and then a noise gate to take it all away. That's just a part of how that dish is made. Now, with time, you can get a nicer amp and a nicer guitar and a nicer noise gate, and it will fix things, the periphery of things. But you need to understand what you're going for. If you're going for a Jan Garbarek sound versus a, you know, whatever, like a Coleman Hawking sound, you know, you're going to have to get a very different kind of setup, and you need to start listening or hypothesizing what your favorite players are doing, you know, in terms of that, just in get the broad kind of concept together, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, with saxophone, I forget how it works, but people either play reeds that are way too hard for them, right?
That's usually what happens, and mouthpieces that are too open.
How did that start?
It's just because it's thick, just the language of it. So they say thick reeds compared to thin reeds, and then like thick sound.
Thick sound, yeah.
Compared to...
The strings are the same way.
And it's just idiotic, because with saxophone, it's idiotic because it's literally the opposite. You have thick reeds, you get a lot of those high mids that are nasty and are
And you just need
unpleasant,
more pressure
and
to vibrate it.
Yes, and then the low notes are really out of tune, and you can hear a lot of even known saxophone players would play like that, and it's just
That's the
low
sound
is
of the
unpleasant.
air escaping, kind of. Where
Yeah,
not
and then a lot of
air-
those people have, a lot of people have
Yeah.
escaping too because of the pressure that you need.
So
Yeah, but a lot of people, like old jazz people, and then like Brecker or Jan Garbarek, those people play with setups that are much more similar to me, which is pretty closed mouth, like not closed mouth. So the mouthpiece, the closed, if it's closed, it means like the difference between where the tip is and where the reed sits. So it's how much the reeds can vibrate, basically.
Yeah, like
so
the
if
range of
so if
motion
it's
that they
really
have.
open, so if it's really open, it makes it's like you need to play saxophone to know. But if it's too close, then it would get stuck.
Yeah,
basically.
Guitar is identical with action versus thickness of strings. So if you're playing very, very thick strings, you can get away with very, very low action because that's how arch tops are set up, because the vibration pattern is much more minimal because it takes more force.
Okay, so it's exactly the same, right? So you can play
thick reeds with
small openings. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then to me, I play the openings basically which I like how it sounds, and then I fit the reed, which is, again, it's not that soft, but it's the softest basically I can afford without it freaking out.
Right.
And doing weird stuff to the tuning and like closing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just another example of how people use language to describe it, and when the language takes over and when the reality, it just goes with the language, with thick reeds, thick sound. That's what people think. And it's like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah,
right? People have
exactly.
So people have
the
mythology about people. Oh, he played like he would clip the reed and it would be like number 20 or whatever, like this weird stuff, and that's based on the early days of no Google or
or just or asking somebody who just did like a fucking mountain of cocaine inside of like keg of whiskey, like, hey man, what's your stuff? He's like, I don't know, like 15 15 or something. It's like
well, when we met, I played crazy thick reeds.
Just going off of
where everything gone. I played crazy thick reeds and
Yeah.
learning and listening and trying stuff. After a while, I just stopped. You also get used to it, right? So you build up. And then another thing that I think happens is, that's why people always complain about the reeds, and I don't know if they do the same with picks or strings or something, but they would take a 10 pack, and then one of them will be slightly easier to play, and they'll be like, oh, there's only one good reed in a pack. And
yeah, that's more a saxophone thing.
Yeah, and it's like, no, they're all good if you're playing the right size.
Right.
It's
just hoping for
basically if you buy
one.
a 10 t-shirt pack like made in China, and you're like, oh, only one fits me, all the other ones are too small. It's like, maybe that's not your size.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's I see it with fans all the time. Like, what's your pick? What's your string? They're basically saying like, listen, man, I don't have a job. I can't afford to be obsessed with pedals. Can I make like can I make a arbitrary change for no reason that I can afford, for like $3.99? I have $20. How can I sound like you?
It's not that it's insignificant, right? But you use the Adagio pick still?
No, I use Gator grips.
Okay, but what do you use? The Adagio strings, right?
Strings, yeah.
Okay, so you use the Adagio strings. I use the Adagio reeds, but we have a lot of types. So I have a specific type that I like. I tried all the types, and I have one that I like. But nowadays there are so many of like how do you call those, boutique companies that make reeds and mouthpieces, and definitely like I can't imagine how many strings and picks they have.
Oh my god. It's infinite.
So when I stumbled across something, I used to play Van Doren, and when I stumbled across those reeds, I liked it better, so I switched. But that's the same thing with the mouthpiece. I stumbled upon it, so I switched to it because I like it a little bit
this is
better.
like the number one thing that the string companies don't want you to know, and the gear companies don't want you to know, which is players are not married to their fucking setups. They check things out. They always change what they're playing, but they project the illusion. It's like Steve Vai always plays this pedal. But like he tried everything and he has everything.
But what I'm saying, yes, it tries at this point, but I don't try every reed company that comes out. I try this reed. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't give a shit. I found something that I like, unless somebody would come to me and bring me something that I like better.
Well,
I'm
also
not going to spend my time.
For us, we have an endorsement with the Addario. So before that, we had an endorsement with Ernie Ball, and I liked Ernie Ball. Okay, I liked the Addario a little bit better. When we had an endorsement with Ernie Ball, I played Ernie. I mean, this idea that you have to be like a Jesus type character when it comes to your gear choice. It's like, this is, I have seen, I've heard from the top of the mountain. God called me and he said, Danny, Ernie Ball is the perfect sound for you. And then I sought them out and I shared the message, and and they gave me an endorsement. And it's like, dude, it's like they're decent strings. They gave me them for next to nothing. And I played them because I've changed strings every day and shit was expensive. And then I moved to the Addario because I have a deal with them. It's like, that's just what it is. And if a company that gives me a much better deal that sounds great.
Like you have to like it, but it's not like, oh my God,
this is like
the
it.
best.
It just has to be like, it has to work. It has to be like usable, and I need to get a sound that's just fine. I mean, it's at the end of the day, the important part is just that the music sounds good.
Yeah, but also, if you all of a sudden find this boutique company that makes strings that are insane, you'll be like, I have to play that.
Yeah, but I can't go from paying $1 a pack to paying $10 a pack.
That's another thing.
Like, fuck, it's like, how good. Like,
why?
My God, it's
you have like
tiny,
5 shows a year.
It's a tiny, right? No, that's true. Well, it's like, it's a tiny bit brighter, like treble.
Yeah.
It's like, it sounds kind of the same,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not, unless it's a humongous difference. Then
it's never that humongous. I mean, sometimes it's
no, some stuff. If you look at your list, favorite strings compared to the strings that you like, there is a difference.
Sure,
but
no, I wouldn't.
But usually, each company would have something that you kind of like.
I'm not saying going between a Squire to a Sur, but I am saying that, like, if the people, let's say at what's the name of that fucking Tyler Guitars,
Fender Custom Shop.
No, I don't like those.
Really? They can't make you one that you like?
Dude, I was at Sweetwater. I took 7 of the like $4,000 ones off the wall one by one. They were so unplayable and so buzzy and gross and heavy.
But never mind.
It's really bad guitars.
I'm just thinking about a company that I would like to fuck with.
Oh yeah, no Fender. I mean, if Fender offers a deal just for the online shit, I would say no and bite the bullet. I would say yes and bite the bullet.
Even though, from my experience with those companies, it would be like, oh my God, we love your music. Marbin is the best. You guys are the future of music.
And then nothing.
And then we're like,
we're not.
And then the person that said it, he has another job in the company 2 days later.
Right.
And we never hear from anybody again.
It's like, I kind of like EDM now.
Yeah.
That's our rep. We always get. It's amazing, like, when you're dealing with these companies, the turnover of the people. It's like, that's true for booking clubs too, for club bookers too. Like, if you're dealing with like a 23-year-old, they're not staying in that job for more than
unless
a
it's
year.
the owner. That's why it's nice to play in places where you deal with the owner.
Yeah, I don't think the owner of Fender is going to handle our account.
Leo Fender?
I don't think he works there anymore. Pretty sure he's dead.
Not the CEO?
No.
Really?
They just kept the name and ran with it. He started G&L Guitars.
Leo Junior?
Junior
Leo Fender Junior?
Yeah. The General.
Leo.
General Leo. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, gear is fucking stupid. I mean, it's so funny because we're pretty tight with Sweetwater these days, and that's a fucking powerhouse corporation. I mean, my God, the amount of money that's running through there.
But we have a straw and we try to draw it our way, and we just we can't blow that hard. Well, no, suck. We can't suck that hard.
We can't suck that hard to get any money juice.
Danny and I are with straw, and it's like nothing. We can't get anything. It's like, they're clogged.
I guess that's how the rich stay rich. But no, we got a nice album out of it, and we got some stuff.
Yeah, but come on.
No, they could do more.
We didn't even make money, me and you.
Yeah.
John and Everett made a little bit, but we didn't even make money. Well,
no, we got that. We have a gig coming up at their venue. That'll be good.
Yeah, that's true. But
28.
it's just offsetting the loss that we're gonna eat before that.
How honest are you intending to be on this podcast, you piece of shit? No,
I'm just saying, it's just there are some people. I wish we had somebody in the band that knew how to do the rich.
the rich schmooze, the
schmooze.
dance, the peacock dance of like, hoo, give me some. I'll take 100 and
But
another 100.
but they know how to do it. Some people just know how
Some
to do it.
people are amazing at like
Like what told
sucking
us
up
about
the
the
money.
snarky puppy. Well, it's not just sucking up because we also suck up. We just don't know how to.
How to take the bite out of their cake.
Yeah, we just don't know how
No,
to.
we never
so
could.
sad.
Yeah, nobody in our band ever knew.
I wish we could.
Because we got to rub shoulders with money, but the money always stayed where it was. We never took it. It's I don't know. Maybe we need to go back to the Council of Jews that control all the money in the world and ask them how they do it.
John does it basically
we
for
moved
a-
to the U.S. too quickly. We didn't get the Jew secret.
John does it basically for a living, but he doesn't take the bite. Let other people take the bite.
No, but John does it with peanuts. That's his.
No,
that's his thing.
well, but
they old
he
Nadal
transfers peanuts from some rich people to.
to other rich
other
people.
rich people.
Yeah, John. His COVID job is telemarketing for the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. It's like, sir, hello. The second violinist in the orchestra.
We'll have to fire the second pool guy.
Yeah, it's like that South Park episode, Lars had to sell one of his jets. Look at him. He was sad.
Basically, it's like, oh,
These people...
he has to hire a pool. She has to hire a pool guy
These
that's
people
over
make
25 years
seven
old.
figures, and they have telemarketers calling people, rich people, to donate money to them, so they can keep paying them these insane salaries for not playing gigs. Not playing gigs.
Remember when
Jesus.
we used to make 7 figures? 100.0001.
I do remember that. Good times.
A lot of figures.
Yeah,
in there.
that decimal point really,
Makes
really
a
killed
difference.
us.
We were like, first you make the figure, then you need to start moving the decimal point. That's the secret.
Fuck. Yeah, that is the secret.
I read it in
Yeah, no, none of us were ever good at that. Though the thing we were good at is just like battling it out and, just fucking going out there and making something from not.
and just making enough.
Making it work in the old world.
Making enough for the next.
I can't believe it's still not open. Like Texas is open. We emailed every fucking venue in Texas.
One place.
One place wrote us back.
Well, the other place, because some places have shows, but I thought it's just local shows basically, because we're with the hand on the pulse if something's gonna close.
Right.
But I was surprised how Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, it's basically open in Wisconsin, and
In
even
Chicago,
the
it's
city,
open.
Even the city is basically open.
Yeah, but all the venues.
But the venues
no.
are closed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here some jazz venues are starting to open, but I think you can't actually sing or play a wind instrument.
Yeah, and they have like weird things. Well, you saw the show in Cincinnati. We're playing a show in Cincinnati, and we're doing 2 sets.
Two seatings. It's like New York City.
And if we sell out, it's less than the amount of people we had last time we played there.
In COVID, in the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand
the
what I'm
first,
saying?
Like
So-
March, like 12 or
Yeah, so
something.
if we sell out both shows, it's less than one show that we did before. So it's like the money is
I've
stupid.
begun to become nostalgic for the old world, like watching Facebook memories of us like having great
Yeah, me
times
too.
on the road. I'm like,
Did you like the video I sent you? I saw you posted it. I don't know if people saw it.
of that fucking
Yeah, you should
Viking girl? I posted it.
You should
Yeah.
post it again now
So
on the
funny.
on
It's so
You
funny.
should post it again now that you're on the
Yeah, I posted a
old
video of
one.
us playing Israeli jazz and this girl just getting up and dancing her ass
Yeah,
off.
my sister got it.
Yeah, she had it was like
It was South by Southwest.
Yeah, it was the perfect shred dance.
It was some weird gig.
Oh my
I hate
God.
I hate doing those gigs.
What was the name of that company? Do you remember?
Vinyls Are Us.
It was the strangest deal. This company started by a young guy.
I think he made money on us.
Yeah,
so I think it was fine.
He had an idea, and the idea was that he was going to buy like a vinyl pressing, like he pressed his own vinyl,
Yeah.
made his own covers, designed the vinyl, and got artists to give him original content. And
Well,
he
knows. The idea was vinyls are so expensive, so he's gonna go to artists that didn't do vinyls because of that reason, and would make their first vinyl.
Right, and the idea was that it was kind of a subscription-based thing, And every month you would get, or every 2 weeks or something.
No, every month.
Every month you would get a vinyl in the mail from like whoever's on this. So it's kind of like a label / mail service. It's really bringing back catalog kind of buying.
It was good.
And it was great. It was a great idea, and he made a great product, and he got us to play in South by Southwest to promote his company. It was a very weird gig.
But you see, so
he flew one band from fucking Norway.
Sweden,
same thing.
but it was just the festival made no sense.
No.
Like it felt like he lost a lot of money on the festival, and I don't know what he wanted to achieve. So I don't like doing stuff when I feel like not everybody's having a good time, because it makes everything super awkward and strange.
Yeah, when the guy throwing it is losing money, it's the worst. Cause it's
unless they're okay with it, unless they planned on it.
And I am like, for me, I really am not one of these people. It's like that. I don't feel like my thing has intrinsic value separated from the money that the guy losing money is generating. You know, it's like I am here playing my beautiful fusion.
And he was very nice to us. He flew us over. Did we save him a sister, or did he give us hotel rooms?
He gave us hotel rooms.
Yeah, so it's like we had a good time. We just flew over, went back, he paid us. That's another thing that happens a lot, though. They renegotiate the money,
terms,
which they did with us to our advantage, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he gave us more vinyls, and that was
he traded us.
Yeah, and we sold all of them. So it was we made way more money than we would have if he just paid us cash.
Right.
But
I felt South by Southwest in general was a weird scene.
It was so lame after all the stories you hear.
Well, I feel like it's a party that you're like 15 years late to. You know what I mean? That like it probably was great for a while, but then the city got involved, and it got more and more organized, and they built nice stages.
And then it becomes also every band tries to go there.
Yeah, the sweet spot is right between a corporate machine and a hippie festival / refugee camp situation.
Yes.
There's something in the middle, like when the hippie or indie kind of fest, is. Has enough chemical toilets to where not every single one is.
Well, it's not a complete mess.
Yeah, well, it's exactly. But I mean, I remember some
when you can find it, for example.
Some
festivals
festival,
you cannot find.
You just drive there. The GPS is telling you to like take a left into the woods. There's no left turn.
Yeah, like when you start out, when we did all our first festivals, it's like we had to give at least an hour or two just to find the fest, because you would go to where it is in the GPS, and you'll be in the middle of a row of houses. No, row of houses. So it happened to us in Virginia with Bo. It happened to us definitely in Kentucky, and you just wait. I'm in a town.
Right.
There is no festivals. There are no signs. There is nothing.
Right, and you have to follow signs sometimes in the dark.
Yeah,
it's fucked up.
Sucks.
But I mean, you remember the one on the mountain? Some of them are refugee camp, and some of them are refugee crisis, where it starts raining
obviously.
And all the tents are washing down.
Yes.
You're on top. They put the water below.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Those are one of the festivals you could not find for the life. No. So it's like some of them are better. I had the thought. I watched Lion King with Alma, with my daughter, and it really is great. If you pause on any spot of Lion King, it's basically you have a great painting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's so good. It's made so good, so well, and the music is awesome too. They have it's Elton John, but there's a Scar song. It's like a Leonard Cohen song, which when I watched in the night, I didn't know, obviously, when I was a kid.
Which song is it?
It's called Be Prepared. And they made it like a Leonard Cohen song, like First We Take Manhattan or something.
Okay.
Right? It's definitely like
it's a spin-off of that?
To the Leonard Cohen period, right?
Okay.
I like it.
It's like a Leonard Cohen song.
Yeah, it's like a Leonard. It's not okay. But it's very much like it.
Yeah.
Right? And Elton John wrote it. And then we had to go to the doctor. Because it's not decadent, she got sick a lot, so we had to go to the doctor, and they had Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol playing.
I just know that from
when we got canceled, probably.
Yeah, from cancellation. Yeah.
So it didn't get canceled.
Okay.
Maybe they canceled new seasons. I don't know.
No,
Seasons?
I think they kicked off a character, a police
Oh, the
dog.
police dog
The
died?
police dog is
Okay, whatever happened.
They defunded the police dog in Paw Patrol.
Do they make one season and just play it over, or just is it they make new content?
I don't know, but you just reminded me that the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, how many seasons does it have? Because we watched it for like 10 years, it feels like.
Well, the X-Men cartoon in Israel, it wasn't aired on TV. You could only get it by
No, it was on TV.
eventually. But when we were very young, Domino's Pizza came from America to Israel, and whenever you bought a family pizza, they gave you a VHS.
I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, a VHS of X-Men, and that was a huge incentive for kids to buy it. But they kept giving you the same 3 tapes. So and it was like not in any sort of logical order. So a lot of Israelis just kind of watched in a loop like for 5 years before it made it to TV, like the first 6 episodes of X-Men, and we just don't know what happened, because I never could jump back into it. Very strange.
Well, like the Moomins, right? You remember that show? It's like you would think it has 1,000 seasons. It has, I think, 1 or 2 seasons.
When you're a child, I mean, I do remember like The Heart, the show about it's a Japanese like Miyazaki type. It's Miyazaki Studios that produced it.
We got a lot of Japanese animation.
Japanese animation dubbed to Hebrew.
Yeah, not anime.
And it was about a kid in Italy whose mom goes. It's a cartoon goes to Argentina. It's like, and he has a little monkey.
Like she has TB or something.
Yeah, and he goes to find his mother. And it seems like it had like it was 1,000 hours. It was like Days of Our Lives, but I think it's also like 2 seasons.
Well, the way they aired it in our only channel was like they do the gas prices. It's like in no rhyme or reason, like repeating stuff and then going back seasons, and so you could never understand where you are and how many episodes it's been.
And even if you're good and like look at the TV guide, you wouldn't necessarily get the next episode.
Yeah, there's no way
confusing
to know.
And I think it was just like a coded. Like army message by the
something like
Soviet.
that. Yeah, exactly.
We're all just trying to like make sense of it.
But so Paw Patrol is a piece of shit. That's what I was about to say. Just looking at it made me furious. Now my daughter like she watched it, like she was looking at it. But for me to look at it was just, oh my god, this is such a piece of shit. It's like it has zero value to somebody that's not a toddler. Okay, it's like it has colors and dogs and noise but the animation is so poorly done. It's like it's computerized, but it looks like shit. Everything there looks like it cost $1 to make.
Yeah,
they're
not putting in.
It's like wherever they make it, it's not Chinese made. It's China's China. You know what I
think that's called like Taiwan.
Yeah, no, because Taiwan is. Yeah, never mind.
Indonesia?
I'm saying
what's China's China?
I don't know. Maybe it's like where they send all the kids that can't make Nikes and they make Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol and Pumas.
Yeah. It's so bad. It has no. I'm trying to remember why I got into it, but it has no
value,
additional value.
It didn't enhance your life, Paw Patrol.
It's infuriating. What did you talk about just before? Because we went into too many.
God only knows. I remember we talked about gear for a minute, but that was a while ago.
No.
What's
too bad? Because it made perfect sense with what we were talking about before, but then we went on over it.
Yeah,
whatever. If somebody.
Oh, hippie festivals. How to find them?
Yeah, hippie festivals. Exactly. So.
Fuck yeah.
Yes. So it's the same thing with hippie festivals. When it gets, or with festivals in general, when it gets too big, then they don't. It's not a good. The people on top are not making an experience that's awesome for them and for everybody that they know and their friends. Because that's hippie festivals are basically people making awesome stuff for them and their friends, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But once you get big to a point where it's no longer like what we're doing, it's like those people are already too old or new people came over, and it's let's manufacture an experience that everybody would enjoy and would be good. And it's the same thing. It's like Paw Patrol is, hey, what kids like? Colors, noise, dogs.
Right.
And when it's
I think you're onto the truth here, which is any sort of any sort of good time exists inside a frame, and the people that design the frame are the people who make or break it. You know what I mean? So if you're totally hands off and you're just you know, not doing. If you're doing too much to control it, to make it safe, like to make it sanitary or something like that, and you're booking, you know, you have like kind of an indie music thing, and then you're like, what do people really like? Hip hop. And then you start booking like Kanye to headline. You're changing some things, like, and to me, it's so crazy to see that every year in Bonnaroo, they have like a huge rapper,
Yeah.
like headlining.
In a rock and roll festival, what used to be old
Right.
jam band, yeah. But it's you know what? It reminds me. You know how we
They're
used to
being
go.
inclusive.
You know how we used to go. Like we even did it. We were young enough when we met, but we did it together. But we went up north, in Israel.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
With our friends, just to camp and to be crazy.
Yeah, I remember you got lost and were almost attacked
Flip flop by boars.
by wild boars.
Yeah. But if instead we'll do it every year, and you know, I did it with my army friends, and we used to do it in high school, right? In high school we did a bunch of us.
Yeah, to, like,
we didn't
camp.
know each other, but
Yeah.
we did, like, we would go up,
Yeah.
you know, make trips with all our friends, and you go like 7, 8 friends or something, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but it's always a group of friends. It's if you go every year, and then instead of your friends, you start to get any emails from people, you know, like, I want to join the group, and then you're trying to figure out who would be good at joining the group,
Right.
according to, I already have a funny silly guy. Can you carry stuff, you know?
Right,
And they're like,
right.
I already had this person in my friends. It's just.
Well, I mean, it's very
doesn't work.
tricky. It's very tricky to protect whatever project you have from degrading into shit. You know, it's always that's a disease. You were telling me about that. How every corporation has a tipping point.
Yeah, when it's most of the people are useless.
What? Yeah, well, it's like 20% of the people do 80% of the work.
Yeah,
That's the
something
law-
like that.
That's the law.
Yeah, the law is similar. It's something with
Murphy's law. What's it called?
No.
Something else.
Yeah,
Some other guy.
I just forgot. Pareto distribution.
No,
it's a-
there's Pareto distribution. Then there's price or something.
Oh, price law. Yeah.
Price law.
Yeah.
What is it exactly?
It's something like the square root of the people are doing 50% of the work. So if you have 100 people, 10 people doing 50% of the work.
Right.
And if you have 10,000 people, it's 100 people doing 50% of the work. And the bigger the company gets,
The harder it is to sustain.
yeah, because it's less people doing an insane amount of work.
Right. That 50% stays the same, but the amount of people.
No, but 50% goes up.
Well,
if you
yeah,
really think about it.
The-
Yeah.
the 50%.
But it's less and less people carrying everybody
Carrying a
else.
bigger and
That's how
bigger
all
load.
those big companies always end up completely collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the people that can do that amount of work usually leave when
I always
they can.
think about that when I'm sending merch at the post office with one fucking window open and 20 people standing there in a snowstorm, and then the only fucking teller working leaves their desk, and they're like, only 7 people during COVID are allowed inside. Like 13 stand outside like in the Holocaust, fucking waiting for selection. Piece of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just what happens in big companies. And it makes sense too, because you wouldn't like. I read this. People know Waze. Is Waze famous?
Waze is pretty famous.
Well,
it's
Google
for those of
really-
you who don't, it's a map company owned by Google, Israeli made.
So
Very proud.
Google bought them, and they became a company within Google, which is in Alphabet now. That's how it's called. And he was the guy that was the CEO of Waze, which also a shady guy. Like Waze is really a shady company. Like the way they got their start was very dishonest. Okay.
I have no idea about Waze.
It's fine, doesn't
Okay.
matter. Should we go into it? It doesn't
No,
really matter.
just-
Yeah, so the point is, he just quit Google, and after being there for 10 years or something, and he wrote a long letter on why.
I read it, yeah.
Yeah, I sent it to you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
read it? Yeah, so it's great. Right? He obviously is right, and he's obviously also an idiot,
Yeah.
but he was saying how they just used him, and everything good that happened to Waze, they would just take and put in Google Maps, every good idea they had, and oh my God, today I'm just not remembering what was.
Well, to survive inside, we're talking about price law and how this.
Yeah,
whole thing
so I'm
fits.
saying that people, and he was talking about how, and it's funny because I always talk to my brother about it because he would always tell me about like what great job he did. And when I was like, yeah, well, how's the company doing? And it's like, not great.
Right.
Went out of business.
Well, that's like the bassist that like plays like crazy fills behind, like ruining the song.
Yeah, but
You know,
I'm
like
saying...
you take so much pride in your little part inside a machine that's not.
Yeah, but I'm saying for me, I wouldn't feel comfortable. Maybe I would if I started though, right? But just I don't think I would feel comfortable just because I know how I am in Marbin, and it's just as a person, not as a musician. I would not feel comfortable having a job that I feel has nothing to do with how the company does.
Right.
And really doesn't and how the company doesn't reflect in how much money I get.
Right.
You know, it's like the disconnect between, and that's what happened in big companies. It's like and in the post office too, the lady or the guy in the post office that you were talking about, they don't think about how much the enormous budget of the post office and how it gets reflected in their work.
Right.
And if their work is actually worth the money.
But I think most jobs are like that, not like ours. To where like the correlation between your action and how much the bottom line of the company is so direct.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of a joy of really running a band and treating it like a business.
Oh, having a small business.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that you really get to have a connection with how things play out in reality, and you understand value, you know, really at the level of a CEO, you know, because I do think that like the head of Google certainly is looking at the bottom line, but they're just dealing with such sums of money that losing 50 companies is like, bad day, you know.
Well, and for him also, he thinks about it, I'm guessing, because you can see how it happens, he thinks about it as Waze have a good product, I can steal a little bit of it and kill the competition.
Right.
So he'd rather just buy Waze. It's like, I don't know if he could win against us, but it's like, but it can annoy me. So I'd rather just pay them and lose a lot of money on them. Because I didn't understand when they bought them. It's like, why would they buy a company like that? Mm-hmm. But that's basically what they do.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, I don't want... It's like, oh, we're talented enough to maybe annoy me in the future.
You just reminded me, I'm going to take this time to give away $1 billion idea. Just give me credit. I had the idea of starting a social media company because Danny was telling me a story about the literacy rates in Philadelphia Baltimore public school. There was like people, like the illiteracy rate
most people
is like at the 70% marker or something.
But
most people can't
yeah.
read. They're graduating from high school. And that's not even including the dropouts. So I thought that the next step in social media is hieroglyphs. I'm going to call it which is a big word for an application, actually.
No, it's www.smileyface.com.
Yeah, just smiley face. The idea, it's going to be a social media app for the new generation of illiterate Americans. And people from all over the world. I don't know how their education systems are, but I'm assuming they're not. They're about the same. And all you do is click on emojis, pictures, and you can leave voice memos.
So it's basically like Instagram. If you can also leave voice memos and have emojis.
Hi guys.
Like happy, or like you put in like happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not thumbs up, thumbs down. We're not emperors. We're just happy or sad faces. But I think it would be a great way for communicating in the future. I can't imagine what it's like to see all these like, BuzzFeed stuff for people who can't read. You know, they probably are like, 10 things. If only I could find out the 10 things that make guitar playing good. Yeah. So I think that's where we're going as a culture. Good luck. Doesn't that make sense? By the way, I want to congratulate you for being a prophet. I did not realize why how you had the insight to talk about WAP in this podcast, but your girl Cardi B won a Grammy.
It wasn't for that. She won for a different song she did with the same lady.
Oh.
And she performed it in the Grammys.
Oh.
And it was a huge hit.
Did you like it?
I didn't watch it, but other people loved it. I only watched the Bill Bell thing and you sent me. How great was that?
Amazing. So fun.
Bill Bell! What a stupid cunt. What an idiot. What a useless piece of shit human.
The lady that presented. Yeah. She was trying to be a comedian too. That was cute.
I don't think she knows what well, first of all, she doesn't know who Bill is, for
Yeah.
sure. But the way she was reading from the teleprompter, like, you know, you see it sometimes on TV when they have a guest anchor, which is they bring a politician or something, or ex-politicians to be an anchor. And you see how hard it is to read from a teleprompter and make it look
would
natural.
be hard. I can't even read from a book.
Yeah, so she, on the word, she was like,
Yeah.
oh, who else felt, she has this
Yeah.
who else felt like that piano solo? Who else felt like they're in heaven? Oh, the
I love
next person.
How he came up is like, didn't you? Was I the only one who wanted to kill himself during that piano solo?
The next person taught us on Netflix that F is for family. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Bill Bell.
That was so bad.
And when he came out and said that he wanted to kill himself, that was great.
Yeah. Award shows. I mean, who watches them?
My favorite part, I would say, so when he slaughtered all the names
Yeah.
of everybody but one,
Butchered them. Yeah.
butchered them, and then my favorite part was that by the end, so they didn't like him butchering the names, so they told him in his earpiece the names before, and he said, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. I'm gonna, I'm gonna mess up this one," and then he did so badly.
He's a genius.
It's so great.
It's just funny.
So I wasn't listening.
If there's one person I would like to have in my life to hang out with, it's him. And
Like
Nick
if I want,
And Tom Segura.
if I want, apparently Ed Bugatti was just on Joe Rogan for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to listen to that.
Yeah, we'll check it out. But if I won for classical performance for 3 people and a dove playing Tejano music, also including tropical Latin music, the weird classical things they had and Latin music stuff that was
Very specific categories.
Very
Like
specific.
you chose who won and you made up a category.
yes. So if I won that, I will just be more excited about talking to Bill. I can't believe nobody said like, "Oh my God, Bill Bell, that's
Yeah.
the highlight of my life."
Yeah.
That's what I would feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't get over like and the other thing that I saw that Bruno Mars with what's his face Anderson
Silva, Anderson Paak. I sent you the.
Yeah, you sent me it, and then
I would like to see Bruno Mars with Anderson Silva in the octagon.
I have to say, first of all, I thought that him and Wolfpack now play the same style of music exactly.
Exactly the same.
He's just better, but it's just the same, like 70s pop kind of.
It was really the same.
And the one thing, I was listening to the lyrics, and I was just thinking, like, the song is about him trying to fuck probably a supermodel in his mansion. He's having a hard time choosing if he's going to do it
What
in
was
the
the name of the
east
song?
or the west wing of the mansion.
Oh, really? What
And,
it was about?
and he's like, if you're hungry, I got fillets. That's all.
Wasn't like
another bit.
I leave the door open or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the door open, so I don't even care. Just come here and fuck me in the bubble bath. And it's like this, and it was the thing about it was that it was so honest. You know what I mean? I'm sure that this is what's in his mind, right? It's like I'm not one of, like, millions of Americans don't have jobs right now. But like it's just so unrelatable on any level. I really felt like that thing you talked about last time with the late night shows that Tim Dillon was talking about, like that they're going to that, like, what's his face, the host of the
Jimmy
talk show.
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon goes to Olive Garden
Garden.
with Cardi B, and you're watching them, and it's just a bizarre thing. It's like, I'm gonna go in the bath with the bubbles. Got fillets, diamonds on the floor, West Wing or the East Wing.
I'm sorry, I have to steal it from Tim Dillon. You have to watch it if you didn't. But how he says, it's like, what's the bit here? With like teaching Cardi B how to use utensils. It's like, for my life for me, I don't get what's supposed to be the bit.
It's just this fascination with rich people that fuck models. There was that Dan Bilzerian Instagram page. I feel like it's that kind of thing where you're supposed to salivate at the fantasy of being rich and good looking.
But you know what?
Living
But it's so different because that Dan guy, right? Which
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about him. I just thought I saw
Rogan. He was on Rogan.
Rogan. So he was talking about how he completed the 2. He's the only person that ever completed 2. He wasn't the Navy SEAL, but he completed 2 Hell Weeks or something.
Right.
And because he got injured after, and then he had to do it again. Never mind. When he wasn't a SEAL, so don't give him that credit. But he's still is in the driver's seat of his life.
Right.
Like he navigated his life to this weird, fantastical place, right? Which is, again, I'm
that
not
he's making
for
a
it.
living from promoting, right?
Well, now he is, but I'm
Right.
saying with playing poker and all that stuff, he kind of navigated it, but he is in the driver's seat. And Cardi B and all those other celebrities were children.
Right.
That's what we always talked about when we
being
saw the
managed.
Fusion people.
Yeah.
They started getting all this money when they were very young. Everybody, like everything in their life is managed. Like they don't know how to manage in the world.
Right.
Like they don't
understand how their own industry operates. They just know how to
but
show
it's not
up
about the
when they're
industry.
told.
But they're so rich and famous. It's not about the industry. They don't go to the DMV.
Right.
They don't know how to order. They need to order a ticket. They don't know what they need to bring to the airport.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't think about any of
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
like it reminds me of like the guy that made those Jay and Silent Bob movies. What's his name? When he was talking about the Prince story.
Yes.
Like the manager of Prince was like explaining to him, like, listen, Prince has been living in Prince world for so long that he forgot how the real world operates, but he's like demanding a giraffe or something. Yeah, I know, but it's just the fact that these people are generating the repeated anthems, like that they're putting the words in our mouth, and it doesn't feel like they're making when Frank Sinatra sings about love, it feels like he's singing about a fantasy love, and it's a fantasy for him as well. It's an idealized form of love. When Bruno Mars sings about it,
it's about his day.
It just feels like he's narrating what happened in his fucking mansion, and you're supposed to climb
There
into
is no way he leaves the door open.
No. Yeah, right.
Maybe the door is open, but there are a bunch of dudes. But there are a bunch of dudes.
The gated community is guarded by a guerrilla army.
Yeah.
That only lets in fine bitches.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna leave the door open in Bel Air. It's pretty funny. It's pretty true too. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was so weird. And it's so weird when you hear like Anderson .Paak being a part of it too.
Yeah.
It's like
that fucking Tiny Desk changed his life.
Yeah, but what I'm gonna say, it's like
Cinderella story.
You're from a Tiny Desk fame.
Right.
You're not from Bruno Mars fame.
Well, now he is.
Yeah, maybe now, yeah.
Now he climbed the ropes. He's going to make some moolah.
Yeah, but I was like,
yeah.
Nobody's coming for you to fuck you in your bathtub. That's what
Now
I'm
they are.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's enough for today. Did you guys dig this live experience? Write us about it. For those of you who are subscribe or haven't subscribed to the podcast, it's on all your podcasting thing. It comes out Fridays 8 a.m. Unless you're watching on YouTube right now, which you're doing for the first time, the broadcast the day before, I guess I'll leave it up. Make sure to buy merch, buy Marbin albums, buy shirts and all that stuff at marbinmusic.bandcamp.com. Subscribe and hit the bell on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/marbinmusic. You can go to Facebook if you want, facebook.com/marbinmusic. And
you can go to Instagram and watch other people.
Yeah, go to Instagram and look for the Marbin page. It's been deleted. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.